My mother-in-law pretended to be me at my daughter's school. Then, sobbed in court, when the judge read her manipulative words aloud. My in-laws laughed when I was promoted. They cautioned, "You'll never balance work and marriage together." They appeared unexpectedly months later. They proclaimed, "We're here to save your marriage." However, none anticipated how their assistance plan would turn out. I have been married to my husband, Adam, for 12 years, and I am 38 years old. We reside in a peaceful Columbus, Ohio suburb. At a mid-sized hospital in the downtown area, I work in healthcare administration. Adam teaches history at a secondary school. Ben is 7 years old, and Lily is 10. I was elevated to director of operations around a year ago. It was significant. Longer hours, increased responsibility, and a sizable pay increase. I was ecstatic. Adam seemed encouraging, even proud. However, his parents. Not at all. The day after I was promoted, I received a call from his mother, Lily. She said, "Congratulations," in a bland voice. "But are you sure this is the right move? Your children need their mother." During a family meal, his father George added his voice. "These days maintaining a marriage is difficult enough. I hope you know what you're doing because you're working more." I dismissed it. They've always held the conventional view that women belong at home. However, I had always shared responsibilities with Adam. When I was busy, he was more than capable of taking care of things at home. After 3 months in my new position, things were busy but doable. I arranged schedules with Adam. The children were doing well. We were also doing okay, even with the occasional late night. Then my phone buzzed one Friday night as I was getting ready to leave the office. "We're here," Lily had sent the text. I called her, bewildered. "Here where?" "At your house, dear. We thought we'd surprise you. We're here to help. To save your marriage." I was taken aback. Without telling us, they had left their Lancaster, Pennsylvania, home by car. They had already unpacked their bags and settled into the guest room when I got home. Lily was moving my spice rack around in the kitchen. Adam was being lectured by George in the living room about the value of family meals. Lily stated, "We noticed the strain. Thought we'd step in before things got worse." I expected Adam to be as shocked as I was when I looked at him. He seems resigned though. He confessed, "They called me earlier. I didn't think they'd actually come." Our house became a battlefield over the course of the following few days. Lily seized control of the kitchen and criticized my food selections. George insisted on presiding over family gatherings every night to talk about problems he saw in our union. They questioned our schedules, parenting, and even the TV programming we watched. Lily advised me to cut back on my hours, or look for a less taxing position. The words, "Your children need you," she said again. I made an effort to be composed, but the intrusion was too much. Adam made a feeble attempt at mediating the situation. I approached them after a particularly difficult supper one evening. I started by saying, "I appreciate your concern. However, this is our family's home. Your unexpected presence and persistent meddling aren't helping." Lily appeared distressed. "We're just trying to help. By undermining our decisions, by imposing your beliefs on us?" George got to his feet. "Maybe we should leave." "Maybe you should have called first," I said. There was a tense silence as they departed the following morning. That night, Adam and I talked for a while. "I should have set boundaries," he said later. "I thought they'd come, offer some advice, and leave. I didn't expect this. We need to be a united front," I stated. "Our marriage, our family, should be our decisions." He concurred. In order to concentrate on our family and re-establish our routine, we made the decision to temporarily cut off communication with his parents. Lily and George wrote us a letter a month later. They acknowledged that they had gone too far and apologized for the intrusion. They said they wanted to mend the relationship while honoring our limits. A check for a sizable sum for the children's college fund was enclosed. The message said, "It was unexpected. A gesture of goodwill, perhaps." We initially took the apologies with caution. I assumed the check was only a gesture of goodwill. Lily and George's way of saying, "Hey, we made a mistake, but here's something for the kids." It took a while to cash it. There was a strange feeling. Adam received a call from his brother Dave a few days later. From the kitchen, I could hear the talk. I had not heard Adam's voice that harsh in a long time. I asked him what had happened when he hung up. They told Dave we were struggling. That we might split up. That they came to rescue us, he said, his expression tense. Wait, I said. They said we're taking money from them now? Like we needed them to bail us out. So that check? It wasn't a gift. It was ammunition. They informed the entire family that we were experiencing a catastrophe. That my work had damaged everything. That Adam was making every effort to remain composed. In their story, I was the bad guy. The story didn't end there. We brought the kids to a bowling establishment across town one Saturday for a birthday celebration. Lily and George were standing in the parking lot as we made our way back to the car. They made no effort to conceal it. Lily answered with a phony smile. Oh. We were just in the area, she said. Wanted to check in. Check in? In 2 weeks this occurred 3 more times. Outside my hospital, at Ben's soccer game, and at the grocery store. Constantly, just in the area. I was scorching. They pretended to be surprised when Adam finally told them to cease turning up. The words, "We're family," Lily said. We should be allowed to see the kids. The school meeting followed. In an email, Lily's teacher inquired as to whether we had asked for a modification to her after-school program. We hadn't. Lily had called the school posing as me, it turned out. In order to accommodate Lily's chosen schedule, she attempted to change her pickup time. Because, as she stated, working mothers can't always remember everything. I went totally crazy. That evening, I gave Lily a call. You impersonated me at my child's school, she snarled. Well, someone had to step in, it's not like you're always there. I was unable to talk at all. I handed the phone to Adam. Told them that we would be removing all communication, that they had gone too far. I knew they weren't finished though. Not quite yet. HR took me from my job 2 weeks later. There's been an anonymous tip about your performance, they replied. Concerns about you bringing personal issues into the office. My blood froze. It was ambiguous, just enough to cause confusion. HR indicated they needed to investigate, but nothing specific. I was aware. I was certain it was them. During their visit, Lily had said in passing that my long hours must be impairing my capacity to think clearly. She persisted, even though I never really offered her any information about her job. This was not something I was going to overlook. I began recording everything. Each and every call. Every coincidence. Every rumor that goes unspoken. Adam was just barely able to hold it together. Then the last straw appeared. He discovered that they had been secretly speaking with Lily. Telling her things such as, despite Daddy's best efforts, Mommy works too much. Also, when people get overly busy, marriages can fail. She was being poisoned by them. Our 10-year-old. Adam snapped. He called them and yelled at his parents for the first time in his life. Notified them that they were no longer accepted. Warned them that he would file a lawsuit if they attempted to get in touch with our kids ever again. Lily sobbed. George referred to him as unappreciative. Adam didn't care though. He blocked their phone numbers. Keep them out. We received a letter in the mail 3 days later. Legal envelope with certification. We were being sued. Thank God. Not for custody. However, Ohio state law grants grandparents the right to visit. It was unbelievable to me. We were unaware that they were even thinking about this. However, under Ohio law, grandparents may ask for court-ordered visitation in specific circumstances. They also had a case because they said their grandchildren were suffering, because we had unfairly cut them off. It was authentic. It was taking place. We were being hauled to court by my in-laws. Worst of all, it might actually work. Rachel, a lawyer, met with us. A scathing, straightforward person who had experience managing family conflicts of this nature. She didn't sugarcoat our story after listening to it. She re-Adam'd, they've built a paper trail. The gift check, the school call, showing up in public, these weren't accidents, they were building a case. I felt sick to my stomach, she went on, glancing at me. They're trying to paint you as overworked and absent, and Adam as overwhelmed and unstable. Adam re-Adam'd. Which is ridiculous. We've never even had a fight in front of the kids. Rachel gave a nod. This will be about perception rather than truth, which is wonderful. And they have spent months working on that. Rachel suggested that we tighten our circle and completely stop communicating. Tell only those we can trust about what was happening. I became aware of something I had been ignoring at that point. Jenna, Adam's cousin, had been phoning a lot recently, posing naive inquiries. How's work been? Is Adam sleeping okay? Do the kids miss their grandparents? It came together. She was providing Lily and George with information. I gave it a try. I informed Jenna that I was considering leaving my position. It's merely a hypothetical. My hospital director jokingly inquired about my well-being 2 days later, and offered to relieve some of my workload. Their goal was to wear me down by making it seem like I was faltering. Jenna was confronted by Adam. She didn't dispute it. She stated, "They're just worried. They think you're ruining the family." Lily came to me in tears a week prior to the court hearing. She said, "They said it's my fault. That I made Grandpa sad." She gave me her journal, a little notebook decorated with flowers. I had no idea she had one. Pages of information that Lily and George had shared with her via FaceTime months prior were contained within. Things we were unaware of. Things such as, your mother would be around more if she truly loved you. Your father is incapable of caring for you. He's worn out. Families disband occasionally, but it's not your responsibility. That night I shed tears. Adam desired to set the notebook on fire. No, I told him. This was our tool. We received another letter from their attorney 2 days before the court date. Supporting documentation was supplied to demonstrate the closeness of the grandparent-grandchild bond. The pages included printed screenshots of messages from which Lily had neglected to remove the timestamps. One displayed a discussion about coaching the children with Jenna. Another had George's note. "We'll damage her reputation even if we lose. She will have to quit her job as a result." Adam's hands trembled. We sent everything to Rachel right away. She referred to it as a divine gift. Her words, "This shows intent. They're not acting out of love. This is what they're doing to gain control." I hardly slept at all with Adam the day before the hearing. Lily's journal was with us. Their printed messages were with us. We have records proving that we only asked for distance when their behavior went too far and never refused them visitation. However, the nerves were genuine. Our family was their target. Furthermore, they weren't acting out of worry. Their goal was to ruin me. They desired victory. My mother was the one person Lily had undervalued. Joyce, my 67-year-old mother, resides in Akron and is reticent. However, during her brief time with us the previous winter, she had seen everything. She had witnessed Lily disparaging me. George was seen yelling at Adam in front of the children, observed their ongoing desire to improve our way of life. She consented to testify. She said, "I haven't spoken for years. But they're not getting away with this. The court hearing is next, and I'm ready." It was quiet and chilly in the courtroom. His parents sat on one side, while Adam and I sat on the other. Like she was at a funeral, Lily wore all black. As if I had stolen something, George continued to glare at me. The judge was a middle-aged woman with a composed voice and a stern countenance. She seems to have witnessed everything. It was Lily who spoke first. She shed many tears. Expressed her love for the children. She was so afraid they would forget her. She portrayed herself as a distraught grandmother who was unjustly barred out. George followed. He refrained from crying. He launched an all-out assault. "I'm preoccupied with my career," he informed the judge. Said that I left Adam to fight by himself. That our children were emotionally aloof. He even referred to me as chilly. Next came our turn. Rachel quietly gave the journal Lily had maintained to the judge, as she got to her feet. Next came the printed texts and emails. The room's atmosphere changed. A few passages from the journal were read aloud by the court. Lily's statements were crystal clear. "Your mother doesn't give a damn. Your father is too exhausted to raise you. Perhaps you'll move in with us once they get divorced." Lily's face went white. George balled his hands into fists. Then the messages arrived. George's stuck out the most. "We'll damage her reputation, even if we lose. She will have to quit her job as a result." The judge gently raised his head. "This isn't about love," she declared. "This is about control." Then my mother arrived. Quit Akron's Joyce. She never raised her voice. Simply said the truth. Claimed to have witnessed Lily yelling at me for preparing boxed mac and cheese. Adam was reprimanded by George for doing the laundry like a woman. Observed how they turned everything nice into a critique. She then made a straightforward conclusion to her statement. They didn't come to help, she mentioned. They came to take over. The judge didn't take long to make a decision after hours of testimony. She decided against George and Lily. No rights for grandparents, no trips, no interaction. Then she took an unexpected action. She cautioned them. If I see anything that looks like harassment, stalking, or interference with this family again, there will be restraining orders. Adam and I sat there in disbelief. Lily started crying. George appeared to be about to blow up. However, it was over. Nearly. We assumed we would simply return home and quietly rebuild. However, word quickly got around the household. Jenna, Adam's cousin, was also dragged. Her parents were incensed. She was a spy. She attempted to apologize to us via SMS. We didn't answer. Then an odd thing occurred. I got a call from an old Lancaster neighbor. Claimed that before the lawsuit ever occurred, George had been bragging about it. Said that he boasted that he would punish the working wife for disobeying custom. I therefore did something I never would have imagined doing. Every email, diary entry and message was forwarded to the school board, where George used to serve. As it happens, he continued to train new teachers on occasion. No more. They let him go. Every job he had in town was gone. Adam informed me that he didn't want to ruin his father. I didn't, I told him. Yes, he did. The truth is as follows. I also committed mistakes. I ignored it. I disregarded warning signs. I believed that being courteous would suffice. It wasn't. People who perceive your independence as a danger cannot be persuaded. Someone else's need to run your life cannot be fixed. You can, however, fight back. Showing a bully what happens when you stop being nice is sometimes the only way to stop them. It has been half a year. No phone calls, no letters, no unexpected visits. I'm doing better than ever with Adam. Ben and Lily are doing well. I'm still employed, stronger, more observant, and at last valued by those who count. What about George and Lily? Telling strangers that we disconnected them without cause is now their new pastime. Let them speak. They were defeated. We are at liberty.